I have felt this way for a while, and I don't think I'm alone, that the NBA is out of balance. You're in a better spot when there's more of a balance, where the three-point shot is part of the game, not the entire game.
Sometimes, too much of a good thing can lead to bad results. And this is exactly what's happening with the NBA.
True.
According to Brian Windhorst, the NBA has a three-pointer problem, and let me tell you why. The NBA's obsession with the three-point shot is like that one friend who discovers tacos and suddenly forgets about other food. The three-pointers are everywhere, all the time, and while they are technically efficient, it's also slowly sucking the soul out of the game. Many NBA analysts have called this out for what it is. The NBA is tipping dangerously out of balance, and the league may just be one step away from turning into a glorified three-point contest.
Doncic on the offensive side, the Warriors are. Lucas shoots a three. Double figures. They never lose. And Lively is being put in tough positions. Career best.
And this is exactly what happened during the last match between the Mavericks and the Warriors. On the 16th of December, Dallas won the game 143-133, but it wasn't the score that left everyone slack-jawed. It was a whopping 48 combined threes made by both teams, setting an NBA record. The Warriors in particular were like a team possessed, hitting a franchise record 27 triples in a single game. And here's the shocking part, they still lost the game.
The 48 combined made three-pointers are the most in a game in NBA history. That includes a franchise record 27 threes for the Warriors, the most in a loss in NBA history.
The head coach for the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr, was like he'd just seen a ghost when analyzing the box score.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a box score like this. You know, we go 27 for 54 from three, 39 assists, 10 turnovers. You know, and it felt like we were never really in the game. You know, we cut it to 5 a couple times. Guys kept fighting, but they controlled the entire game on a night where we made 27 threes and didn't turn the ball over.
His team nailed 27 of 54 threes, dished out 39 assists, and only committed 10 turnovers, a stat line that should be a recipe for victory. Instead, the Warriors spent the entire game chasing Dallas, who was just as dialed in from deep.
It's the modern NBA. It's a different world. It's a different game.
Kerr summed it up perfectly. It's the modern NBA, it's a different world, it's a different game. And honestly, it's hard to argue with him. The game has morphed into a spreadsheet battle, a numbers game if you will, where efficiency reigns supreme and the beauty of diverse playstyles gets lost in a sea of three-point attempts. Analytics have infiltrated every corner of the league, turning the game into something more like Moneyball than basketball. Teams have become so obsessed with maximizing points per possession that the mid-range jumper, post moves, and any semblance of offensive creativity have all but vanished from the league. And don't get me wrong, it feels glorious when Steph Curry lights it up from 35 feet.
Involved Doncic on the offensive side, the Warriors are. Lucas shoots a three.
But not every player is Steph Curry, and not every team is the Warriors. When you've got squads shooting 8 for 54 from deep, it's less artistry and more clown show. You can only watch so many bricks before you start wondering if Home Depot sponsored the game.
Harden behind the screen. And Gordon for three. Gordon for three.
They get it into Turner. At three. Turner for the win. Rimming, no!
It just feels wrong and frustrating, and this is exactly what David Dennis Jr. felt as he chimed in, acknowledging that while games like Dallas Golden State are entertaining, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. When good teams are hitting their threes, it's exciting, sure, but when bad teams try to replicate that style, the result is basketball at its most unwatchable.
So, someone please explain to me. Someone tell me why the NBA continues to put out a one-dimensional product and then wonders why no one is watching.
He also made a compelling comparison to the Jordan and Kobe eras, when every kid in the park thought they could hit a contested fadeaway jumper like their idols. The same thing is happening now with threes. Every team thinks they can be the Warriors, but most end up looking more like a rec league team that just discovered the concept of spacing. Let's be honest with ourselves here. The critique isn't about abolishing the three-point shot, it's about restoring balance. The NBA has become so three-point centric that it's hard to see where the game is going next.
This weekend, in a game between the Bulls and the Hornets. There were 75 missed threes, not 75 three-point shots attempted. I'm talking about 75 threes that were missed. Who in the hell wants to watch that?
Gone are the days when dominant big men like Shaq or Tim Duncan could control the game from the post. Even centers are launching from deep now, leaving fans to wonder if we'll ever see a true inside-out game again. The numbers don't lie. Three-pointers are the most efficient way to score in basketball, but efficiency isn't the same as entertainment, and it's definitely not the same as diversity. Watching a barrage of threes can be thrilling at the moment, but watching the same thing over and over becomes predictable and monotonous.
Dropping in another three. He's got a dozen. I know he doesn't want to give it up, but he did to Lindy Waters. There's Jackson Davis, another opportunity for Wiggins. And traced the dunk. And it was the foul, but it was Wiggins creating again. Luka's bigger than you think at 6'7", 230. Trey setting up Wiggins. And dropping in the three. Andrew Wiggins, what a half.
Many experts argue that the NBA is out of balance. The league is at its best when there's a mix of styles, when teams can win in different ways. The Warriors' rise in the mid-2000s teens was so captivating not just because they shot threes, but because they played with a unique blend of movement, defense, and passing. They were innovative. Now everyone is trying to copy the same homework, and the game has lost some of its charm as a result. Steve Kerr's Warriors are still a fascinating team, but even he seems bewildered by what the league has become. When you hit 27 threes and still lose, it's hard not to wonder if the game has gone off the rails. But three-pointers are not the only issue at hand. You see, the sheer abundance of three-point shots is a result of various complications that the NBA is currently facing, like the lack of defense. One fan commented, "A lack of focus on defense is ruining the game." And honestly, they're not wrong.
Front. Ball gets away.
What is
It's
that?
take it away from Harden and drive and dunk.
Aaron holds his dribble out. 10 to shoot, 9. 8 Miritich the screen. Gun to Snell. Fires.
Defense has become a dirty word. Remember when teams actually stopped each other from scoring? When every bucket felt hard-earned, like a trophy at the end of a grueling battle? One fan recollected about the late 90s, a golden era for defense, where playoff games ended with scores like 75 to 72, and every point felt monumental. Today's NBA feels like the complete opposite. Buckets come so easily, they might as well hand out participation trophies for scoring. Another fan nails it with this gem: "I miss the dunks." Who doesn't? Dunking used to be basketball's exclamation point, the highlight of every game. Now it's a semicolon at best, a punctuation mark we rarely see because everyone's camped out beyond the arc, playing a glorified game of HORSE. The highlight reels of the 90s and early 2000s are filled with jaw-dropping posters and defenders getting embarrassed in ways they'd need therapy for. Who doesn't miss the thrill of getting absolutely annihilated at the rim? Remember Vince Carter jumping over a 7-footer in the Olympics, or Shaq breaking backboards?
Give me your best. Let me see your best. Yeah, I'm all right.
Those moments had us leaping off our couches, spilling popcorn everywhere. But now, dunks are becoming an endangered species in the NBA. Why drive to the rim and risk a blocked shot when you can jack up a three? Analytics might say the three-pointer is more efficient, but efficiency doesn't get the crowd roaring nowadays as much as dunks did in the past. Nowadays, it's like everyone's allergic to the paint. The NBA is turning into a league of social media reels, with players skipping the fundamentals that once made the game great and acting more like internet celebrities. Basic rules of basketball like traveling and carrying are often ignored and not enforced seriously.
See a lot of corner against LeBron James down the stretch. LeBron, the greatest space. Had hit it from 3-0 again. LeBron says, "Okay, you want to go under the pit? I'm gonna step back, baby."
Many fans also feel that the rules are bent, stretched, and ignored to the point where games become glorified shootouts. Flagrant fouls are called on the slightest contact, but carrying and traveling are treated like they don't exist. The league wants high scores, but it's coming at the expense of the game's integrity. And let's not ignore another issue at hand: accessibility. Some people also raise concerns about watching NBA games at home. The league's relentless push push to monetize every aspect of its content is alienating casual fans. Who wants to shell out for 5 different streaming services just to follow their favorite team? With that being said, there are some players breaking new ground in the realm of sportsmanship. Athletes like LaMelo Ball and Ja Morant are steadily becoming fan favorites because of their showmanship as well as the ability to mix things up.
Factor that the people came to see quickly. Scoop with a
While these players might not be the best in the business, they are fun to watch and they are giving the fans a breath of fresh air. Not only that, they are also cashing in on their unpredictability and creating new challenges for their opponents. With the NBA ratings going in a downward spiral, some players must play not only for glory but for the fans as well. And players like LaMelo Ball and Ja Morant are doing just that. Looking back, Brian Windhorst's critique isn't just an old man yelling at clouds. It could be a potential call to action. The league has strayed so far from its roots that it risks alienating the very fans who built its foundation. The NBA needs to find a balance, bring back the mid-range game, encourage post-play, reward physicality, and for the love of everything holy, stop pretending defense doesn't matter. We are not saying the three-pointer needs to go away entirely, rather it shouldn't be the only thing at play. Basketball is at its best when it's a buffet, not a one-trick pony. The league needs to embrace variety, give fans a reason to stay invested beyond the highlights, and remind everyone why basketball captured our hearts in the first place. So how do we fix this? While we don't claim to have all the answers, there are some things that can be improved for a better experience. Do we need to adjust the rules, move the three-point line back, reward other types of scoring more heavily, or is this just the natural evolution of the game, and we need to accept it for what it is? One thing's for sure, the NBA needs to find a way to bring balance back to the game. Fans love highlights, but they also love variety. A league dominated by one style of play is a league that risks alienating its audience in the long run. The Mavericks-Warriors shootout should serve as a wake-up call. Yes, it was entertaining. Yes, it showcased incredible skill, but it also highlighted the growing imbalance in the game. If the NBA doesn't address this trend, it risks turning into a glorified three-point contest, and nobody wants that. That's it from my side, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting updates from the world of basketball. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.